Welcome to Windy City Highlights Season 2, where we embark on a journey to explore the rich tapestry of diversity that has woven itself in the very fabric of Lethbridge. In this season, we shine a spotlight on the incredible people that have chosen to make this city their home. So in our first episode, we turn our attention to the vibrant Filipino community that has added a unique flavour to the Lethbridge mosaic. We decided to start with the Filipino community because they're known for their hospitality, resilience and resourcefulness. With over 182 ethno-linguistic groups, we're proud to share that some of these stories and experiences have made its way to Lethbridge and have found a cherished place in the hearts of those that profoundly call it home. Lethbridge is fondly known as the Windy City, and it shelters a flourishing Filipino community. According to the 2016 Canadian census, Filipinos stand as the third largest visible minorities in private households in Lethbridge, contributing significantly to the city's cultural vibrancy. The Philippines, a nation that's known for its warm hospitality, stunning landscapes and rich cultural heritage, has left an undeniable mark on Lethbridge. From delicious cuisines to vibrant festivals, Filipinos bring a piece of their homeland wherever they go. Now let's hear directly from the individuals who make up the very heart of the Filipino community. Through unique conversations with event coordinators, musicians and culinary artists, we uncover the unique narratives that shape this dynamic community.
I think my dad just wanted us to get our schools straight and have better opportunities, I know we would have had the same opportunities in the Philippines, but I think he just saw that there was, a plus in being in Canada.
Moved here because of the job. I was transferred here because I came to Canada in Edmonton. So I started in Edmonton, and then because I'm ambitious, which we should be, because we want to go from one place to another, right? One point to another. So I keep looking for a job, and I found a job in Lethbridge. That's why.
I was in Edmonton and then St. Albert, and my client is from St. Albert. His wife passed away, and his husband's son is from Lethbridge, so I have no choice but to move with my client. I was a live-in caregiver at that time.
When we first moved to Lethbridge, at first we thought there's not a lot of Filipinos, but as the days go by and we keep going out and meeting a lot of Filipinos and attending events and parties, which Filipinos is known for, parties, right? Karaoke and lots of food. So we started to meet a lot of people, and then I found out that there's a lot of Filipinos in Lethbridge, which make it feels home.
It's a sad story. But I think what motivates my family is because of my sister. She was diagnosed with a hole in her heart, so ventricular septal defect. And the only way that my parents can support her is to have an operation, and it's pretty expensive in the Philippines. And healthcare in the Philippines is not free, kind of like in Canada. And both of my parents are in the middle working class, so they're both teachers, and so it's pretty expensive to afford that surgery. So what my dad wanted is to come abroad and work and save money and maybe potentially bring his family to that country.
Going to the Philippines and then Lethbridge, right? Actually, it's tough, bro, because different cultures, right? But different cultures, but I found it more easier because there's Filipino culture here in Lethbridge. Filipino cultures helped me a lot in the transition because there's Filipinos in here that encouraged me, motivated me to sing again. Going here, I sell all my instruments in the Philippines because the only point of me going here is to work. That's my point of view, Honestly, I want to stop music because going to Canada is working, right? The only thing that you have to do here is work. And it's such a blessing for me to meet these people because I continue my passion and my love for music.
Originally, I am from the Philippines. I graduated Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy at University of Santo Tomas. And then when I went here, my pathway of becoming a Canadian is becoming a student. That time, there was like my girlfriend before is in Lethbridge, and when we got engaged, we tried to get each other within the same city. And then there was an opening here in Lethbridge, so luckily I was able to move here. And then 2015 I was here, and since 2019, that's when I become what you call this, involved in the community, because I really wanted to have a strong bond within the community, and I like to have some events happening. So when there was if I remember the time that I first joined to the Filipino communities during their Valentine's Day event. So it's February 2019. Yeah, so it was a Valentine's dinner, so I invited my wife. Someone sold me the ticket, and then after that Valentine's Day event, someone from the association invited me, like our current treasurer, Miss Jenny Toledo. So invited me, like they asked me, like, Vic, do you want to join us, the Filipino Association? I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Like, Filipinos have been here for a long time. Like, we're not new. Like, we've been here, we're still here, we're still gonna be here, you know. I think that exchange has been going on, you know, in like small scale. But I think the food truck is meant to just bring that forward more. Like, make those exchanges really visible to everyone. So visibility is like power. That is, in a sense, like the way to like bring like change forward and change people's perspective.
$10,000 for them to work for you. Ano to, deposit sa bahay? No. No. Ano naman tayo, mag-compete naman tayo, bawal po yun. More because you're the employee. Ikaw yung magtatrabaho para sa kanila. Sila po dapat ang magbabayad para sa inyo. So pag-isipan po natin talaga kung mag-compete.
I learned as I grow that you cannot please everyone in this town. What it really matters are the people that love and support you. But having me is also an act of activism for those people who doesn't support the LGBTQ+. Because believe me, there's so many queer members from the Filipino community. In the Philippines, we are everywhere. You see us from the entertainment industry, fashions, nursing, or healthcare, or there are a lot of them. We are everywhere in all departments. Unfortunately, we don't have the rights like here in Canada and the Philippines. We are tolerated but not completely accepted. And here in Canada, we still have that kind of mentality in some members of the Filipino community, and some of the members of the Filipino-Canadian queer community are still closeted. They're still scared because of the culture that we have back in the Philippines. So seeing me here, some people get inspired of my representation and visibility. Also, I'm able to channel to other members of the community, like the Canadian community, that the culture, the talent that we have. And every time I go out, I'm always vocal that I am from Filipino-Canadian community. So it's like a representation without realizing that I am representing my community. I'm just doing it because I love performing, but at the same time, there is a responsibility that I carry with me, and it was a great responsibility and an honor to represent my community and be the voice of the minority. In the beginning, it was difficult to find a community. If you are immigrants, if you are an international student or foreign workers, it's not easy to find a community.
For every international student where they don't know anyone coming into Canada, into Lethbridge, it's hard, I could say.
A lot of challenges to us immigrants, especially the weather, because ours is like summer and rainy season, and that is it. No snow. But in here, a lot of snow and it's cold, and that's the first challenge. And then, of course, the community, right? Because back home, you're like every neighbor, like in a community, almost you know each other, right? And a lot of parties. But here in Canada, we find that we feel like we're isolated, right? Because we don't know anybody. Not until we try to go out and then mingle with fellow Filipinos and the rest of the community. And then, yeah, eventually, yeah, we adopted, and then, yeah, we love it here.
You really have to ask around, find some friends from your community first and get involved and connect with them. It could be at the church, which is very common here. That's how they started the church. Or if there's a Filipino association, that is the best
I
way
want
as
to go
well.
to church, but there's like I'm new in the place, right? And I missed music really that much because I play in the Philippines.
Okay.
So it's my life in the Philippines. So going in Canada is like a new step, a new adventure for me. And then introduced me to Kuya Ron. Kuya is like a brother in the Philippines. Kuya is brother in the Philippines.
Okay.
The word Kuya, yeah.
Right.
Big brother.
Older brother.
Older brother.
That's
So
awesome.
he introduced me to Kuya Ron, and that's it.
Time when my brother did stay in Edmonton for a while, and then we moved to Lethbridge, so for his studies. He came back and he couldn't really speak Tagalog. Yeah, and that was really a tension between our parents and the whole family, because because older Filipinos would pass it off as just being like, oh, like naging nartika. That's just like a term of like, oh, like you're just being like Americanized. Yeah, you're being whitewashed. Yeah, but to us it was actually really hard because sometimes I would forget words. You know, some people translate for us, and I was like, actually no, I can't. Yeah, and especially for a household, we speak 3 languages in the house. Yeah, because we still have a dialect too. We're Ilocanos, and then we speak Tagalog and then English. And you know, for my sister, she's born in Edmonton. You know, it's English. We were told by pediatricians to not speak to her in multiple languages, just for for her speech. So it's very much, we're trying to retrain her, trying to make her learn.
It's pretty hard to communicate with everyone, especially that in my place, it's a small barangay, we call it, and we speak Bisaya. It's one of the dialect in the Philippines. And I have that very strong Bisaya accent. So when I try to speak in English, everyone would be like, what are you saying? So communication is pretty hard when we came to Canada. Also, culture shock. It's quite different. I'd say Western kids are pretty liberal compared to what Filipino culture is, pretty conservative. And also, I think that's pretty much, yeah, those are the 2 that I can think of.
It's a difference in lifestyle. You know, I'm an extrovert. Like, that's not a shock to most people. You know, both my parents are introverts. Like, they're very just like to themselves. You know, and I like going out as a teenager. I like party, and that was something that we had to come to terms with. You know, my brother and I think that tattoos are an expression of ourselves, and that is something that they had to deal with too. But I think I got lucky because my older brother broke them in a bit.
So we always rise, whatever difficulties or challenges. I just thought about my family, and that's my weapon. Whatever difficulties I face, whatever discrimination I got, but to be honest, it's not too many, not so much.
Parents are very much the high road people. Like they don't really, they tolerate it for the most part, which I don't like. My brother and I are definitely more outright about it. Yeah. So, you know, those microaggression comments of like, oh, you don't really have an accent. And sometimes I just respond, do I need to have an accent? Yeah.
You work hard, and then you believe in yourself. Just think of your family, and what you always, everything you do is about family, right? So yeah, I think that's what made me keep moving forward. And then I believe what can help to battle that is that always learn every day, learn to improve, learn a new skills, and then develop it. And then yeah, I think being resilient.
Being a Filipino is a pride. We are like seen as a hard worker, so any jobs that we can do, we will do it for our family. And Filipinos are also talented, so I'm pretty proud to say that I think I have one of those talent, singing especially. Filipinos are pretty good at singing, so, and to be able to share it to everyone.
There's been 4 restaurants, Filipino restaurants. 2 have closed, unfortunately, but 2 are still up, Ruskies and Kuya Wills and Tobits. And my parents we're all working full-time. We're all full-time students, we're all full-time workers, everyone's working full-time. So we can't work with our schedule like that, with a brick and mortar restaurant. So food truck's the next best option. And I think we have fun in it. It's a good family therapy, for sure.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Sometimes we have this flashback of we are doing it in the Philippines, so feel like we are in the Philippines when we're singing and we're singing Tagalog songs or original Filipino music, so feels like home.
Yeah. You know, in a space that there's a lot of Filipinos uniting with one music, and that's the Filipino music, right? It's really like we enjoy that much because in terms of the music, we connected like a certain culture, and it really helps, right, the community to unite, to talk, and to have fun.
That's the way I see it. Like Filipino is more connected because of our own like music world, and yeah, and because my dad is like plays music his whole life, so my whole life I've been playing music.
I came from in the Philippines. I was from the north. It's what they call Ilocano. So shout out to La Union. Philippines, we have different languages, different tribes, right? Different cultures too. But I have these Ilocano songs. We call it like our own song in the north. So that's I like it because it's more on me, right?
I think every province has different dialects.
We have like 110 tribes.
Okay.
It's only for tribes.
There's like a tribe that defines their culture, you know, connects it to the nature itself.
Right.
Yeah, it's very cool, bro. Excited. I'm more like a fan of my own language, my own culture there, because I it's not about culture anymore, but my tradition as an Ilocano, you know. Because we have different language and we have our own songs.
Right.
So in terms of the artists, I think OPM is really broad, man.
It is very nuanced. Like it's not that big of a deal, really. Like if you really think about it, food's just consumptive, you know, just to survive. But if you think about like what goes behind that food, like what, you know, the love and like the tradition that goes behind that food, that's really where you can connect, like, and figure it out yourself. It's always a story, immigrant child story of being ashamed of whatever your mom packed you for lunch, eating. And I think we are trying to, in a way, the food truck's trying to let go of that like shame, like letting Filipino kids say like, oh, it's okay. Not even just Filipino kids, any immigrant child say like, it's okay, like they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, me and my family are enjoying running the food truck. It's because we're sharing our food, the flavor, and also the culture of the Philippines, right? Our food is different from the rest of the Asian barbecue because ours is a little bit sweeter and savory, and then we use the banana ketchup for the barbecues. which is only known for Filipinos, which is a little bit sweeter than tomatoes.
Phil, what do you think of the food?
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Really good.
Have you ever had Filipino food before?
No.
First time?
No, I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Filipino food. At least what I've eaten so far. But no, this is different.
Well, we've been getting comments of like, you know, every party, Filipino party, you know, all the food's always laid out. You know, that motivation is kind of just like come from people saying, you should open a restaurant. You should open a restaurant.
You miss home, and through food, you can bring home to the community. That's why we have the Georgina's food truck. I think the benefits to the community, at first, is the Filipino community. Because like we always, when we move to one place to another, we long for our, like what we usually taste, what our mom cooks, right? And that's the comfort food. And then in Lethbridge, we don't see any Filipino restaurants that sometimes we crave for comfort food, like our own food. But
these interviews offer a glimpse into the diverse perspectives within the Filipino community. From event coordinators creating cultural bridges to musicians weaving melodies that transcend borders, each story is a testament to the rich contributions Filipinos have made to Lethbridge. As we wrap up this episode of Windy City Highlights, we express our gratitude to the Filipino community for sharing their stories and enriching the cultural music of Lethbridge. Join us in the next episode as we continue to celebrate the diverse community that make this city truly extraordinary.